Hey everyone, Billy Hale, and today we're going to talk about Erik Estrada and me. This is quite a story. I don't think it's going to be very long, but you might enjoy it. And if Erik Estrada actually sees this video, he's going to find something out that he never knew. Because I never told anyone. Because I didn't want to get fired. Okay. So it's 1991. I'm working a Star Wagon for a movie, which I've talked about in my Cindy Williams story and Luke Skywalker. And so let's see if I still have this pulled up. Okay, so the movie was Earth Angel, and it was like a movie of the week. And this is irrelevant, but this is me at the time. Oh, I gotta add this. So this is what I look like an LA surfer. And that was taken on a movie set. And so I'm young, 23, maybe 23. And I'm working the Star Wagon for the movie. So we'll go take a look at that as well. This is a Star Wagon. Maybe you've seen one. This is where the stars live during a movie or a TV show or a commercial. And so I was working transportation back then, which means that anything involving gas or trucks. And I had a friend, I met him, he was from Texas. He lived in LA already. He was working on First and 10 with O.J. Simpson. He got me on that show. And then periodically he would need someone and call me, and I was always down for the gig. And so on this show, I was in charge of a 3-hole Star Wagon, meaning 3 actors could live in it. This is a 2. You can tell by the stairs. The one behind it's a 2 and different. This one was 3. 1, 2, 3, right down the middle. So we had in this Star Wagon, we had Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. We had Cindy Williams, American Graffiti, and a lot of other things that I'd watched as a kid. Super sweet. Mark was very nice to me as well. And we had Erik Estrada, who was just as cocky as he was on TV. I remember, and this is not usual. I was sitting down to eat in the evening on the set at a high school. Oh my God, I just remembered a great story. Okay, I'm gonna interrupt us eating and say, okay, it was really dangerous in LA at the time, like hyper dangerous. And if you went in the wrong part of LA, you will not come back. Like I remember I was working on a movie one night, and I just got to make sure I don't lose my thread here, but I was working on a movie and they said, Jim, it's like 3 a.m. and we were rapping, and they're like, would you go down the street and buy beer for the crew? And I was like, no. I was a badass back then too. And I was like, yeah, no, this isn't my hood, bros. This isn't my neighborhood. I don't know anyone here. And I'm a big surfer guy. And so there was a real tough guy on the set, and he said, I'll go get beer. He comes back. He did get the beer. No, he didn't get the beer. He didn't get the beer because he got robbed. He got robbed and beat up. So this is like not a guy I would pick a fight with. He's got a black eye. He's got no money that they gave him, and he's got no beer. And I thought, finally, it's paying off to be slightly smarter than usual. And so that leads me to the next story on this set. We'll get back to Erik in just one second. We were doing a scene where I totally just remembered this. All the extras had on tuxedos because it was a prom scene. And this dude, so when you have a set, it's locked down. Oh my God, I just remembered another story about when I almost got killed on the set by a guy. Anyway, it's locked down. Don't leave the set. Now, I was in the transportation department. That's Teamsters. Teamsters, man. I will put the Teamsters against any criminal on the street. Oh, man. I really am coming up with stories that I forgot. I'm going to write this down real quick. Teamster. Because I've just come up with 3 stories that I totally didn't remember until today. Teamster story. That should do it. This guy walks out on the street to use a payphone. He broke the rule. He exited the perimeter, man. He's not protected. He comes back. I didn't see it immediately. I walked up on it when everyone surrounded him. As soon as he gets in the phone in a tuxedo, the assumption is, a rich guy. He wasn't. He was a extra who was getting paid probably nothing to $40. Whatever the daily rate was. He got stabbed in the stomach. They were robbing him. He walks to the payphone, picks up the payphone, puts in his coin, and then guys run up, give me all your money. Of course, he has no money. They put the clothes on him, and then they stab him and run away. He wanders back on the set. I remember the medic saying he was fat enough that the blade didn't penetrate past the fat layer into any major organs. So they just sent him to the hospital. He was fine. But I was like, it's dangerous out here, y'all. This other story I have of me almost getting killed, and then the guy in the story actually did get killed. That story is so crazy that when I remember it, I just can't believe I'm remembering it correctly. But I'll tell that. I don't know when I'm going to do all these things. So we're back at dinner with Erik Estrada. So we're sitting at this long table with everyone from the movie. That never happens. Usually you sit at a table over here and the actors sit over there. That was always how it was. I remember doing a movie with Jason Bateman, and he was like my age. We were both in our early 20s. And all of the guys my age on the art department were sitting at a table, and then down the street at a table was Jason Bateman and other actors of his caliber and ilk sitting at a table. And I was like, why can't we just hang out with Jason Bateman? It seemed sad that we were not, there's no way we could connect. But boy, I really am not getting to the point here. The end of the story is worth it, so just hang tight for a minute more. It's not that long. It did come out that I either dated a girl that Erik had dated or dated a girl that his girlfriend was best friends with. But whatever the point was, when he found out that lowly transportation guy somehow had a connection to some girl that, this is just my memory. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. He never really liked me after that. He would always say hello to me because I literally was in charge of his trailer in his room. But I could tell that I had gone too far in the being familiar zone. So this is the end of the story. This is the point, and this is the thing that Erik Estrada never found out about. It's 3:30 in the morning. Before you go in anyone's trailer to clean it, which was part of my job running that Star Wagon, is you get the set list, and you would look who's coming in when, and when are they wrapped. You might even ask the AD, is Erik wrapped? Yeah, Erik's wrapped. Well, I did do that, and I did look at my paper, because you don't be walking in on Luke Skywalker or Cindy Williams in the middle of the night. That's some bad business. But you know what's worse business than that? Opening the door, because you got a key to the Star Wagon. It's dark. You go in, you're fully in now. No one's supposed to be there. I'm going to start emptying the trash before I turn the light on. I see someone raise up out of bed and yell, "Who's there?" In the splittest of seconds, I knew that if I were caught in that room, even though it was my job, and technically Erik shouldn't have been in there, I don't even know if anyone knew he was there. He probably just said, "Hey, we've been doing this all night. I'm going to go to sleep in my lovely Star Wagon." But I knew that if, I was pretty certain anyway, that I would be fired immediately. So instead of saying, "Hello, it's me, Jim T," I ran. I was a kid. And I ran right out the door. And that mofo ran right after me. Now it's dark, but it's not that dark. But I used to run track in high school, and I was the fastest kid in our county for 2 or 3 years. And I still hold a record in the 220. I run around the end of this trailer. Let's go ahead and pull that up. I run around the end of the truck, jump out the door. Can you see my cursor? I jump out the door and run around the end right as he jumps out the door. And I run as fast as I can behind the trailer. And then I come around the side, and he's on the back side of the trailer. We circled this trailer 3 times, long enough for me to think, I got to do something different. We can't just, and I darted out. Whing! And The dart saved me. I darted out, and he never caught me. And I forget how this evening ended, except that the next day I showed up, and the first person I see on the set goes, "Did you hear?" I'm like, "What?" And they said, a stalker was in Erik's trailer last night. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Really? This is where we're at? Then I knew for real. There's no way I could tell anybody. I didn't talk about this for years. This is most definitely the first time I've ever talked about it publicly. I didn't break any laws. I didn't do anything wrong. I was doing my job. It just happened that he decided to go to sleep and not tell anyone in his trailer. And I went in and went to clean it and decided the smart option was to run like a rabbit. If this was illegal in any way, I certainly wouldn't be talking about it. It does make me feel weird, though, because it's been so long. So, Erik, if you are listening, I apologize. Maybe I should have just fessed up and said it was me, and it would have been fine. Or I probably would have gotten fired, because you could get fired for looking at people the wrong way back then. So anyway, that's my Erik Estrada story. I hope I don't get in trouble. I'm sure I won't. But there you go. And then we have now these other stories. Should I tell the other story as a bonus? No. I'll save it. All right, everyone. Billy Hill, hit the buttons because I don't get too many views these days. Maybe by the time, I don't know, maybe one day I'll have views, and this will sound silly that I'm asking for people to like and subscribe and all those things. But there you go. So I'm going to put this on the end of the Cindy Williams story, and I'm going to put the Cindy Williams on the end of this. So if you want to hear the other story about Cindy Williams and Luke Skywalker in the same Star Wagon, you can watch it. Blah, blah, blah. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope it was entertaining. And no hard feelings, Erik. Bye.